ready to go to the garden? Let's go. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. Good morning, girls. My clematis that's on the entrance is petering out. It's so pretty when it's in full bloom, but the blooms are starting to fall off. My Shasta Daisy is doing really well. I started it last year. I eventually want to do perennials that'll come back all along the front, and then I'll plant my annuals on the inside and the back, like zinnias and sunflowers and cosmos and cleomes. Those are my go-to annual flowers that I plant every year. I'm thinking about harvesting all this kale today and just putting in maybe another bed of bush beans. Look at my squash. Holy cow. I've got to get in here and harvest this zucchini and squash. It is just doing amazing. This scallop squash. I've never grown this before, but I want to give it a try this year. It's doing pretty good. I got a couple on here that need to come off too. I just tied the tomatoes up again. They are doing very, very well. And my peppers are doing awesome. I think I told you all I was really pushing my limits on this garden. I want to see how much I can get in these beds, and then I'll decide, you know, if I plant it too close or if it worked. I mean, these peppers are planted really close together, but they don't seem to mind it. So far, anyway. I know the squash and zucchini bed is pretty full, but we'll just see. This is my Kajari melon. It's doing awesome. I've got a couple of melons on there. There is a pretty good size one right there. And then there's a little one right there. There's a couple other little ones just starting to form on here. But it's doing, I'm really pleased with it. It's really doing good. You really do have to keep these trellised. You kind of have to do the same thing with the cucumbers. Once you get them going, though, they will hold on and grow up. But you got to watch for those little ends and get them climbing. And I thought I probably had these in here too thick. There's quite a few in there that need to be harvested. These are those bush tomatoes that I'm staking in here. These seem to be doing okay right now. The other ones that I have in, I haven't got them staked yet, and they are going nuts. These are the green beans that my sister sent me, and they're doing really well. They're not flowering yet. Oh yeah, they are. Yep, they're just starting to flower. So that's awesome. Potatoes are blooming. So they still got a ways to go. The green beans, the bush beans. Ellie Mae, come here. I'm gonna have to get in here and pick these today. There's still some little ones, but I will pick the bigger ones off, and that will encourage more blooms and more beans. But yeah, these are doing really good. These are the FM1 Blue Lake pole beans. This is that bed that is crazy. That is a fake snake, by the way. I've got the stakes. I kept putting off cutting them, and Perry got them cut for me. They're laying right here, and I'm gonna do that today. I have to take my dad to an appointment, but I think I can get that done today. So these are more noodle beans, and those flea beetles just about, look how holy my ground cherries are. But they are doing awesome. Something is eating them though. Look. They're not even ready yet, and something is eating them. And I can't blame it on the chicken now. And these two things, I'm pretty sure this one is a gourd. I was hoping it was a gourd. A birdhouse gourd. I'm not sure about this one. It's kind of growing like a gourd, but I'm not sure. Look, I don't know if you can see it. There's a bunny up on the hill. Oh, it just took off. Went over to my neighbor's. I'm glad Ellie didn't see that. And I still haven't weeded this bed. Oh my gosh. We had a rainstorm coming in. We got a good rain. And that's what I was gonna do yesterday. And I got a sinus headache that put me in the bed. So I hope I can get to this today. I just don't know with the having to take my dad to the appointment. And look at the corn. Holy cow. This bed is a week behind this bed. Those little pumpkins that I got from the grocery store, they're doing really well. And the tires. I'm so happy with my raised beds. Look at this, guys. It is just, does my heart good. I still got a lot of cleaning up to do out here. But that's an everyday thing. Oh, I bet you those, I saw a couple of okra that probably need to be snipped off of here. I've never grown okra before. Oh, it was on this one. Yep. Oh boy, I think it went too big. I was afraid of that. I need to get that snipped off though. This bed was kind of an afterthought. I had a few onion seeds and I just started them and then planted them out here just to see how they would do. Next year I want to do this a whole onion bed, and I just wanted to try some okra, so I put in a couple of plants. And then when I thinned out those beans over there, I just put what I thinned out over here just to see if they would work, and they did. So yeah, some of these need to be picked too. They were a little behind. I guess they were stunted from moving them. Well, the aphids got on my noodle beans last year. I hope they don't get them this year. These are my zinnias, and let's see, I think I have cosmos and some some marigolds. Oh my goodness. I think there's some melons coming up. That's what I figured would come up right there. I might let those go. Maybe try them again. These zinnias are ones that I started in the greenhouse, so that's why they're already blooming. They're so pretty. For sure one of my favorites. And these Shasta Daisies. They're just the sweetest things. They have always been one of my favorites. And I'm finally growing them. Took a whole year. I started these in my greenhouse. They came up and I planted them, and they just stayed like a real compact, kind of short green plant. And then this year they came back and bloomed. That's the thing about some perennials. It takes them a whole year to establish, and then the next year they'll come back and bloom for you. My herb bed is filling in so nicely. I didn't get as much in here as I wanted, but let's take a look what's in here. The basil is doing so well. I pruned it. I pulled the tops off so they're bushing out some. And then right here I have calendula and chamomile. The holy basil is doing really good. The tulsi. I really want to try making a tea this year. And there's some weeds and my rosemary. The weeds are doing very well too. I've got a sunflower and a dill back there. And yesterday Ellie, I guess, caught a whiff of a mouse or a chipmunk or something. And they were laying over, so I had to stake them up and tie them up, so we'll see if they recover. My lemon balm is doing pretty well. This is its first year. There's a sunflower that I grew. I started in the greenhouse and I waited too long to get it in the ground, so this is what they do. They just tend to wanna, it kind of stunts their growth. I noticed that with certain flowers. Now these I also grew in the greenhouse, and they are somewhat bigger, but they're not going to be as big as they should be, which is like that one that I planted straight into the soil. I direct sowed it, and see how tall it is. These are my teddy bear sunflowers, and I started them in the greenhouse too. And I know they're supposed to be shorter, but I'm not sure if this is how short they're supposed to be. They're probably about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. But they're so pretty. This is my oregano, and I don't know if it's from Ellie being in here digging around, but it doesn't look too good. Hopefully it'll bounce back. Now this, I'm pretty sure, I thought it was a birdhouse gourd, and I'm pretty sure that it is. The blooms That's what the blooms look like if I remember right. But when I see this, this is the female bloom. I'm pretty sure of a birdhouse gourd. So that's exciting. Glad I ended up with one. The paste tomatoes are finally coming on. Getting some tomatoes. They were a little later than the Jet Star tomatoes. They came on pretty early, but these are finally starting to really put on some tomatoes. Oh my gosh. Look what I just saw. Look right there. I got a tomato blushing. Look at that little peck from a chicken. She did leave me a couple of big ones. These Jet Stars are really doing wonderfully. This bed, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. With the carrots still there, I ended up, well, this is a zucchini, and I actually planted a seed over there in my squash bed because we got that cold front that came through, and I was afraid it was going to take out my zucchini. So I just planted it just in case that one died, and it didn't die. So I dug it up and moved it over here. Wasn't sure it was going to survive. So I covered it with some shade cloth just till it bounced back. It looks like it's doing fine. So it's only been about a week, but I think it's going to be fine. And then I planted just a yellow squash in here. Wow, there is definitely more to harvest today than I thought, so I guess we're gonna do some harvesting. So come on, let's go harvest some stuff from the garden. Well, here's a little bit of what I've got so far this morning. I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna ferment some cucumbers, and I think that might be enough green beans for dinner. And I'm gonna try grilling some zucchini. And I got one little okra there. I might just eat it raw, and because it might be a little big. I don't know. I've never grown okra before. I'm not sure about this variety, so we'll see. Well, guys, that's a little look at the garden. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.